Man, that looks so awesome. Why the heck didn't I do this before? Jeez. Look at how good that looks. That is fantastic. I feel like the worst thing Nintendo did with the hardware design versus the original Switch is make the Joy-Cons this, boring color. But with the skins, whew, those look excellent. So 6 months ago, I got the D-brand grips, and I love them. They're really fantastic. I also got this little simple skin for my Switch 2 controllers, but I was a little too lazy to put them on, so they just look like this boring old Switch 2 stuff. So now, let's go ahead and apply them and see how they look. According to D-brand's instructions, you just slap them right on the front, and then you're going to use a hairdryer and a microfiber cloth to get them melded nicely into the edges. Now, I have, I would say probably a super simple version of the skin. They have more complicated ones that wrap around the back, and they also have more complicated ones that wrap around all the sides and all that. So I've just got the front skin. You can get one that has the front and the back. And then, of course, like I said, that last one wraps all the way around the edges. I have never had one of those. This is actually the only skin that I've ever had from D-brand for a Nintendo Switch. I typically just use the skins for phones. So it's going to be fun to see how this turns out. All right, so the skin is on there. That's looking pretty awesome. This is the transparent version that obviously is colorized for each side of the Switch. Now we're going to take a hair dryer, as they say, crank it up to high, and melt the edge real quick. All right, now with these, once you get them nice and hot, you're supposed to take the microfiber cloth, and you're supposed to just take the edges and you rub back and forth 10 to 15 times, it says. You're just smoothing out the edge so that it's not so rough. They say it melts into the side, which I've had that experience sometimes, but I would say there are other times with these types of skins that you can still feel that edge. That's looking pretty good to me. So let's go ahead and put our grip case on. I think starting from the bottom was the right call. Yep, there we go. So of course you want to make sure that these little lips are over the edge of the controller. And there we go. Man, what an excellent look for that. And because, the grip takes up the whole back and the side, you wouldn't even see a full coverage skin anyway. So I'm going to say if you're using the grips, just get the front skin. It's way cheaper and it looks really nice. So let's go ahead and do the other one real quick. All right, same deal. Pop it off the backing there. Line it up with all the buttons. Nice thing about these versus a phone one is that you have all these lovely buttons that you can line it up with. And there's pretty much no way to screw up the alignment since you have all those buttons in there. All right, so there's the blue one. I'm going to use the old microfiber cloth to smooth that out. It's getting to the point where it's starting to cook my skin a little bit, so I'd say that's probably hot enough to be able to do this again. It says 10 to 15 rubs on the edge. That's like how all the phone cases work. It's the same instructions for like every single skin they've ever sold. So if you've done one of these in the past, you've done them all. Just do the same thing you've done with all the other ones, and it should work just fine. And again, since it has the buttons, generally it should be pretty easy to line up. Let's try this. Same as the other one. Bottom first seemed easiest. Pop it up on the top there. Yep, there we go. Pop the lips over on each of the ends. And bam, there we go. There's the two controllers. I think those look heckin' good. They look really, really good with the grips. You can't tell that only the front of that controller has the skin on it. And then, of course, if we pop it on the Switch, yeah, that looks really, really good. All right, so the other thing I wanted to look at, now that I've finally gotten around to installing these skins, is this. So I've had this for 6 months. If you look at the bottom port, that poor thing's gotten pretty wrecked. Docking it and undocking it several times, that plastic has gotten pretty well worn. So this is one I just got for my son for Christmas. This is a brand new unit. You can see the difference between 6 months of usage on the bottom versus the brand new one on the top. Yeah, definitely want to prevent that on both of these, making that even worse. So another thing dbrand makes, and this actually I think comes with the dock, it did come with my dock adapter, they have these nice little skins that just sit right on the bottom here, and they help to protect that USB port. My hope is if I put this on the newer Switch, it'll prevent it from looking like mine does. And then of course, I'm gonna put it on mine now because I'd like to prevent future damage. So all it does is just cover this up, put a little protective layer on it. It's like the smallest little thing. That shouldn't get in the way of anything at all. That was pretty darn easy installation. Not really anything to it. And do this one side at a time. There we go. And now hopefully that will protect it from dock damage. Now, I think if you're using the dbrand dock adapter, it's a little more common to have that damage because the port is so open versus the official dock. It's a lot harder to slide it down in there and connect it with the USB port and get it scratched. But still, it's nice to have this little protective layer on there to keep it looking good over the years. And yeah, I don't know why the heck I didn't do this sooner with my Switch 2. But you know what? Live and learn, and learn from me. Grab one of these little dock skins, and yeah, definitely grab these controller skins and the grips if you get a chance. I mean, again, you know, not sponsored by dbrand, just like their stuff. It's good stuff. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed that video, give it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, of course, go ahead and subscribe. See you next time.